Hello, all. Welcome back to another episode of Shrey FC. And finally, I'm back with a guest episode as I promised. And today, I've got a very special guest with me, Prasanna Balakrishnan. And he's a Chelsea fan and also Indian cricket fan. So, Prasanna, how are you?
I'm good, kind of in the middle of some transit in a hotel nearby London, but have some internet connections and no have a friend to speak cricket with. So yeah, things are good now.
So yes, today's video that we are going to go on sections will be that we'll discussing the first ODI and everything that went wrong, and then we'll be going towards the second ODI preview. So coming to the first segment of the video, then Prasanna, what do you think went wrong for India in the first ODI, and where did we go wrong that we were absolutely, you can say, humiliatingly beaten in the end? It was Shardul's innings that saved some blushes. Otherwise, it could have been a 60-70 run defeat. So what do you think that went wrong for Indian match?
I think we started well, to be honest. I mean, Bumrah was bowling well, and even at the end, we see 10 overs, 2 for 48. He had fantastic figures. We had them at like 68 for three. When we got Aiden Markram out, and then we kind of allowed Bavuma and Van der Dussen to kind of settle in. I thought Bavuma played extremely well, but I think
Hmm.
even better was Van der Dussen. The way he came and played fearlessly, and he's a top prospect for South Africa. He's been consistent for a while now, and Bavuma played a perfect captain's innings, and even he kind of controlled it towards the end. 297, I thought was okay. The pitch was flat enough. We if we get a good start, we need consistency all through because 297 is still a huge score, even though it's a flat wicket. So we needed support from almost everyone, and we were on our way when Dhawan and Kohli were batting. But again, it's been the story of Indian cricket for a long time. The top order doesn't get big runs. The middle order kinds of gets fragile. And it took Shardul Thakur's 50 to reduce the margin to 31 runs. Else it would have been embarrassing. More embarrassing than it actually is.
Hmm. I think absolutely agreed with your point you made. And again, I would like to say that I think, as you mentioned, with the flat wicket point, I think when the match started and I saw the pitch in the pitch report, I really thought that was a pitch that really resembled Indian pitches. Like for the first time, there was a pitch that really that did not have a lot of pace, a lot of bounce. Suddenly, the threat of South African bowlers went away, and I saw Shardul Thakur playing, Yuzvendra Chahal, Ashwin, and I thought we can restrict them. And I think the commentators were also saying that India gave 30 runs extra, and coming to the biggest problem for me in that match was a middle phase that you summed it very, very well. They were 68 for 3, and I remember their score was around 58 for 1 out of 15 overs. So literally they made around 237 runs were made out of last 35 overs. And on a pitch that was slow, that was favoring Indian players, Indian spinners, everything just went a wall in the middle overs. Bavuma is a player who is not known to be attacking, and Vander Dusen is a very class player, and we just let them stroll through. Chahal was ridiculously bad. You have to say Ashwin again was you can say the best among the rest. Shalul Thakur was again not at his best in terms of bowling. Bumrah had everything to do, and we did not even use our other bowling option in Venkatesh Iyer. So I will like to ask you a question: that what is this problem of India's middle order? Because since Kulcha was there in Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvinder Chahal, we used to take wickets in the middle order, but suddenly it's faded down, and we just cannot take wickets in the middle order. So, what do you think is the problem, and how can it be rectified?
See, Chahal, the thing is, even when he goes for runs, his strength is picking up wickets. So 53 runs now is not a problem. If it was say 2 for 53 instead of 0 for 53, it would have made much better looking. And the reason one of the main reasons why Kuldeep and Chahal they benefited maximum when I don't want to be biased here, but they had Dhoni wicket keeping. If you look at the stats with Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal bowling with Dhoni wicket keeping versus Dhoni not wicket keeping, it's a huge difference. It's not just this much, not this much. It's a massive difference. And so and you know Dhoni behind the wickets, he kind of keeps on telling something, do this, do that, the other. He kind of gives options which Punt is not at the level at. Right? He will surely be the level. He's still young. We should not forget that. He's our keeper for the next at least 10 to 15 years. And the thing is, one thing which you said, sixth bowler. I mean, we bought Venkatesh here to be the sixth bowler, and we didn't even use him. I mean, we could have actually played an extra batsman in a Surya Kumar Yadav, and he could have probably got us a few extra runs. That 30 extra runs, he would have easily made it on a flat wicket. And That's the thing. South Africa showed how to build an innings from being in a tight spot. They built it up brilliantly and they finished it off well. We started off well. I mean, not we started off okay. Dhawan and Kohli were building well, but once both of them went in, I think they went in kind of successive overs. Dhawan fell to a brilliant ball by Keshav Maharaj that turned in sharp. I don't think even Dhawan expected that, and Kohli to a rare sweep, which we hardly see him do. Like generally, when he sweeps, he kind of connects them cleanly. Else, he doesn't even bring out the sweep shot. And once they went, the middle order, it was so. I mean, no one even got a start, let alone carry on. I mean, at least if you get a start, you can say, okay, they didn't get a start. They got a start, but we didn't convert. Say like a 15 or a 20 or something like that. But we didn't even get that. We see Shreyas said go out early. Rishabh Pant went early,
Mhm.
and Rishabh Pant went to some brilliant keeping by Quinton de Kock. I mean that was some wicket keeping. And Venkatesh here, you can't really blame him. It's his first ODI outside India. You can't really kind of put the blame on him. But and that's that. And again, that's the usual problem for us. When the top order doesn't get runs, the middle order kinds of struggles, and we see it even in ICC events. Till the semi-final or the final time, the top order saves us every single time by scoring big runs. But come the semi-final, and that is when they somehow slip form, and then a middle order gets exposed, and then we don't know what to do because they hardly get enough practice because the top order is saving them every single time.
Yeah. Coming on to that part you've made, I think the last question that I think we'll be doing on the first ODI, and I think this is a question that has to be the most important one, is see, we know that there's an ICC World Cup in 2023 in India. And right now we have a T20 World Cup to come in Australia in October. We have WTC Championship matches to consider it on, where final will be played next year. We have IPL coming, so ODI matches will only reduce as the time goes. We have very rare ODIs to play, and the captaincy fiasco, all the things regarding Kohli. We know that Rohit Sharma is going to be the captain of Indian ODI team, and Rahul is the vice captain. And overall, right now, we are just not like you made that point that India's top order, when they crumble, the home team troubles. Like in the previous World Cup, in the semi final against New Zealand, we suddenly lost Rohit, we suddenly lost Kohli, and we suddenly lost Rahul, and there was no one to step up, and we suddenly fell to a defeat. And if not for Ravindra Jadeja's heroics, we would have absolutely been embarrassed in that match. So this is a problem that's been going on. And again, the sixth bowling option, we persisted with Hardik Pandya for a long time. Now he's dropped. Now we brought Venkatesh Iyer in. We did not even give him bowling, and suddenly our batting reduces again. So it's absolutely becoming a mess. We don't know which players are being looked by the Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid to be given chances because the matches are so less. For me, you cannot play players on the basis of T20's IPL form. ODI cricket and other aspect are must. And this brings me to an important question: that do you think that India right now, in terms of the squad, are ready? And what do you think is the thing they need to do to improve that? Like top order problems, middle order problems. We know Kuldeep Yadav was absolutely excluded from the squad, and at once he was a great spinner, and now he has been absolutely thrown out of the window. We know that even Rishabh Pant was treated like that many times ago. So, what do you think? Which players do you think that you'd see to be playing in the 2023 World Cup? And what do you see should be our strategy? Because time is only getting less for us in the World Cup, which will be played in a home country. And with us being so deprived of ICC trophy, winning in our home is a must. So, what do you think the changes we have to make in a team for the World Cup ahead?
I think we the starting is we are missing Rohit Sharma and Jadeja now because those two are nailed on starters, and Jadeja is that number six position, number six and number seven. I think yeah, he is that position. But the thing which Indians we don't lack is depth, because we see in IPL that so many players are coming out, and you do have to take a risk with one or two of them. Yes, it's not going to pay off every single. It's not going to pay off every single time, but come on, when every player wants to play for India at the end of the day, and sometimes you need to take that risk of, say, experimenting with the player. I mean, that's how you are not gems. I mean, I don't want I'm not sure what Ruturaj Gaikwad has to do still to get a game. I mean, he proved in IPL, he proved in the Vijay Hazare Trophy as a captain for Maharashtra. He was in superb form. And yes, maybe in front of Rahul and Dhawan, he doesn't maybe stand a chance, but I think he could be given a chance because that's how you kind of groom a youngster for the long term. And I think the middle order is kind of in a here and there, because we do have players there. We have good players there, but it's about getting the right balance. We see Shreyas Iyer, who is we have to remember we are playing our first ODI since July 2021, if I'm not mistaken. We haven't played an ODI since. Or did we play? Or we didn't even play ODIs against New Zealand. We just played the three T20s,
Hmm.
and it was the test matches. And so I think we need to kind of give it time, because we have to remember today, since the 2020 World Cup is being hosted by us, we don't need to go through any qualification process.
Yeah.
So we can kind of experiment with some players before we kind of say, okay, these are our fixed 11. I think almost have a fixed 11, but the substitutes or the backups can be this, and this. So we have to we I think this is a process. I think Rao being captain, we all know Rohit Sharma will be back as captain, I think,
Hmm.
when Sri Lanka come to
Yeah.
town. So I think Rahul being captain, it's kind of we have to kind of stick with him, because there is no point in really chopping and changing now. Probably, I think if he doesn't want to give bowling to Venkatesh Iyer, might as well put in Surya Kumar Yadav,
Yeah.
because anyway, as a batsman, I think Surya Kumar Yadav is a much better batsman. And bowlers, I'm not sure. Let me just look at the squad quick once to see
I think
who else.
yeah, just one point. I think like you were mentioning Ruturaj Gaikwad and the young players being given chances. I think one there was a confusion for me when I saw the lineup. We had Rahul opening, Dhawan second. We had Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer. Now for me the problem is, let's say Rohit Sharma comes back. So then where does Rahul go? Does Rahul become number three? Does Rahul become number four? And then where if Jadeja comes back, who goes to the bench? Is it Shardul Thakur? Is it Ravichandra Ashwin? Is it Vizender Chahal? Like it's an absolute mess of what they are doing. We have Rudraj Gaikwad, a very good youngster, a very good opener. We have Dhawan, who is a very reliable player. Rohit Sharma, who is a very good player and also unfit. And then you've got KL Rahul, who is a young player. Now you do not want to play KL Rahul in number four, but then who do you open with? If you are going to open with Dhawan and Rohit, then Kohli will come at his preferred position. Then Rahul will come at four. Ayer will come at five. Pant will come at six. Like what will be a batting lineup? It's an absolute total mess. And I think is to do with that we cannot take the hard calls. We cannot take the hard calls that some players have to be removed, whether even how much hurt it feels. If you think Gaikwad is the next big thing, you have to replace Dhawan. If you think that Gaikwad is the next big thing after 2023, then you play Dhawan and then you replace him. So I think it's a total mess with the Indian cricket team. And like the squad you were saying, in the bowling department, as we know that Bumrah is an absolute must. I think Shami will come back at some point. And then Siraj is also at the moment not in the plans. It's very unclear. And in the bowling department, the biggest thing unclear, like you mentioned, is spinner status. Sometimes it's Kuldeep Yadav, sometimes it's Akshar Patel, sometimes it's Ravinder Jadeja, sometimes it's Yuzvinder Chahal, and sometimes
With
it's
all due
Rahul Chahar.
respect, I don't think Kuldeep Yadav is coming back anytime soon. With all due respect, I
Hmm.
mean, he's not even playing for KKR. That says it all.
And what
I
about
mean,
like in leg spinners? Chahal has not been. If Chahal struggles, what do you think about like Ravi Bishnoi for me? Can he be the next one to along with him rather than Rahul Chahar, who has not performed so well for India?
that's the thing. We are spoiled for choice. We have too many
Hmm.
people performing in IPL, and you have to take the risk. I mean, not everyone is going to perform. I mean, we saw in T20 World Cup. I mean, the way we chopped and changed for fun.
Yeah.
And we all saw how that worked out. And I'm telling you this: if Dhawan was there in the T20 World Cup squad, I think we would
Hmm.
have at least made the final, because he's someone who is kind of made for ICC events. He's probably our best performer in ICC events in the past few years. 2013 Champions Trophy, 2017 Champions Trophy, he was the top scorer. 2015
Hmm.
World Cup, he got great runs. 2019 World Cup, he got a century before he got injured and obviously had to go back.
I think you can
And,
say
and
he's
I
India's.
think and I think Rohit Sharma and Dhawan will probably be the openers. I think K. Rahul can play at five. We have seen him play at five and do quite well. He can go for big hits at the end, and I think that's the thing. So I think Rohit Sharma and Dhawan will be opening. This is my kind of 11. Rohit Sharma down will open, Kohli at number 3. I think Surya Kumar Yadav at number 4, K. Rahul at 5, Pant at 6, Jadeja at 7, and then we would have the 4 bowlers, and out of which Bhuvi, Bumrah or Musts,
Yeah.
and you can say probably Chahal, and will he play another spinner, or will he go with the fast bowler? I would probably say um, since Ashwin is back, will he be in the reckoning? Because Ashwin, we have seen he has started to perform decently well. So that's a big thing. Since Rohit Sharma is captain, will he prefer the spinner over the fast bowler? Because we all know Kohli loves to use his fast bowlers, and no doubt they have done extremely well. But will Rohit Sharma think along the same lines? Because we all know Rohit Sharma has his own way of thinking. So that's another thing. So this will kind of be the 11, sort of 11 with 2 or 3 changes, but yeah, this series I don't think we can read too much into it, because we don't have Rohit Sharma or Jadeja. But saying that, I expect the squad to do a lot better. Given that, uh, give, give it's the Indian cricket team after all. You don't get
Yeah.
chances. They are like 130 billion, 1.3 billion
Hmm.
people, and
One with
when
3 million
you when
people.
you miss a chance, another person will be that feeling like, wait, he's been put there. He's not taking the chances. What have I done wrong not to take chances? There's so many players option that you cannot afford to fail at this point of time.
I think, like you mentioned at that point, I think overall what we can call Shikhar Dhawan is India's Didier Drogba, that he steps in the big games. And also, I think the thing that you made, I think it's a very like scary point. Like
And that's the
your
thing. At
lineup,
least, see, the difference is Drogba, you expect him to perform. Dhawan, we say, okay, he might score, he might not score,
hmm,
but he eventually ends up scoring the
but he
big
eventually
runs.
scores. And I
Yeah.
think the biggest problem with Indian cricket team is like you mentioned is like in your lineup there will be no Shreyas Iyer. Now, for me, the biggest confusion that I'm getting is like let's say Shikhar Dhawan opens with Rohit in the World Cup. Let's say Virat is number third, Rahul is number fourth. Let's say Iyer is fifth because Surya Kumar Yadav has been played more or less than him, and then suddenly Pant is sixth. So that absolutely kills the sixth bowling option. So that means India have to bowl their five bowlers. And number second, if they have to play Venkatesh Iyer, this means that either Rahul has to go to the bench, but he's a vice captain, so he technically cannot go to the bench. That means Dhawan has to go to the bench, who is technically one of the best openers. It means Rohit is the captain, so he cannot go to the bench. Virat is the best player, he cannot go to the bench. So which means you are going to put a young Shreyas Iyer on the bench or Rishabh Pant on the bench, which is
Who
just
knows?
like
Even
how.
Pandya might be back once he's back to full
And
fitness.
this is the biggest problem we have, that like if we go with this lineup that kills our five bowling options, and in the five bowling options also we are so unclear. Like okay, Jasprit Bumrah is gonna play, and I think you can say that it's being played in Indian conditions. So let's say Ashwin plays in that, Jadeja plays in that. So you have Bumrah and Ravindra Jadeja, and I think Shardul Thakur will also play because I think his batting always comes crucial for India in the end. So Jasprit Bumrah, Shardul Thakur, Ravindra Jadeja. But who are going to be the other options? Is it going to be Yuzvendra Chahal Siraj? Is it going to be Yuzvendra Chahal Shami? Is it going to be Rahul Chahar? Is it going to be Ravi Bishnoi? Is it going to be two pacers? Is Shami in the plan? Is Siraj in the plan? Is Natrajan in the plan? There's so many confusions, and the biggest part is that our team has not given the chances to them. So this brings me to the point of second ODI preview, that what went wrong in the first ODI, and you saw our bowling being absolutely toothless in the middle over. What changes will you make in the batting department if you think that middle order absolutely failed, and in the bowling department that absolutely let the game flow, that absolutely allowed Bavuma to look like Joss Butler, it allowed Rossi van der Dusen absolutely look like Johnny Bairstow, and South Africa cruised through, and on a pitch that was India type pitch, we allowed them 295, and it was always going to be a tough task when their leg spinners came on the pitch and the pitch slowed down. So what changes will you make in the lineup, in the India's last lineup that played against South Africa?
I don't think any changes might happen. The only thing I might see, if Rahul doesn't want to bowl Venkatesh ahead, he might as well go with an extra batsman in Surya Kumar Yadav. But otherwise, I think a squad does look good enough. The thing is, you can't, just because the loss is there, does and chopping and changing doesn't kind of make sense. You kind of try to persist, and I think the squad is good enough to win. Make no mistake, South Africa are a decent side from top to bottom. They have Quinton de Kock from the top, and then they have Bahuma, Van der Dussen, Miller, and then going to the spinners, Maharaj and Shamsi, to the bowlers, and Lungi and Giri. And they bowled without Kagiso Rabara and Andrik Nokia, and despite that, we struggled. So it's a thing of just being a bit consistent. See, because some of these players are playing after a very long time, and we can't we if God forbid we lose the second ODI, it's cause for concern. Right now, yes, there is a bit of concern, but I don't think there is too much. it was a bad performance, and I just hope we can move on and perform much better. I think probably fingers crossed we win the toss, and I think we have been kind of been spoiled with chasing over the years because we have done well in chasing. Let's not make no mistake, but sometimes when the score gets up and like two or two score gets above 250 and you lose kind of quick wickets in the middle, it's hard to keep up with the run rate because the incoming batsmen are struggling and the run rate keeps just going up and up. Even run rate of 7 in the last 13 or 14 overs, which say 5 wickets down, is extremely tough. Even though you say all the T20 batsmen, they are more experienced, it is tough in any situation. So I don't. Apart from that one change which I mentioned, if he doesn't want to bowl Venkatesh Iyer, probably go with an extra batsman. I think the squad looks well set to actually win. It's just that they need to take their chances because we all know what they are capable on their day. It's just that they need to take the opportunity by the hands, and that's about it.
So everyone who's watching the show, at first I will love to tell you that please subscribe to Prasanna's channel. He's a Chelsea fan and an Indian cricket fan. And in this community, we should support each other. He's a fantastic channel. You will find some great cricket content up there with some great guests. So please support his channel. And please do not forget to hit on the like button, subscribe button. And also please put your views of the match. And if you think any view we have given wrong or any players you want to see in the lineup, do mention in the live chat and in the comments below. So for me, Prasanna, you made some fantastic points. But I would just like to say about one thing, like you were saying about that we should keep the lineup same, and if we do not want to bowl Venkatesh Iyer, then it's better to bring a batsman. But again, that brings me to the point that our five bowlers also did not bowl well. Bumrah was very good. I think Shardul Thakur was absolutely like taken for the cleanest. Yuzvendra Chahal was not expensive overly, but he was easily dealt with. Ashwin was fine, and you have to remember that South Africa have not many left-handers in the team. I think Quinton de Kock, Milan, and Miller is the three left-handers they've got. So Ashwin's a bit of impact goes away. And then other bowlers just did not step up on the plate. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, for me, again, he relies on the swing on the pitch in the first 10 overs. And the pitch is on the slow side. And the match is again going to be played on the same venue. So again, spinners will come into the play. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar doesn't have the, like you can say, different variations like Bumrah has got. So do you see Mohammad Siraj getting a chance and Deepak Chahar, both of whom were not played and both of whom can be very impactful in the first 10 overs? Can you see one of them play instead of like Bhuvneshwar Kumar? And you can see, do you see Sky playing instead of Venkatesh Iyer? Are they going to persist with Venkatesh Iyer? Because this is a player they've trusted. And with Hardik Pandya out, every captain has requested for all-rounder. Virat requested for Hardik Pandya, he failed. Now Venkatesh Iyer is the new talk of the town. And I think they will not drop him because they have to try him with everything he has got in his combo. Especially they have to see that do they need Hardik Pandya back? Because I think if Venkatesh Iyer plays well, Hardik Pandya will get a boost to work more, even more hard and get into the team. And on the other hand, I do see at least one bowling change because Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I think he did not look fine, but he has just come to the tour and with Bumrah playing all the test matches. And I think because we lost the first ODI, I think Bumrah will be played in this, but Bumrah has had a lot of workload on him. He has played all the three test matches. He has played the first ODI. And I think if we have already qualified for the ODI Super League because we are the home team. So I think if we even lose this series 3-0, but we give some young players chances, it won't be the end of the world. And I do want to see a Siraj being given a chance, a Deepak Chahar being given a chance, and I do also want to see a Surya being given a chance. Now, do they drop a year for that, punt for that, or if they drop Venkatesh a year for that? I don't know. But Sky has to be given chances because if he's a player you're backing, you have to give him chances. So, what do you think in terms of the point about bowling changes that you like to make, or do you see that the bowling lineup will remain same? So, what's your preference in this regard?
I'll probably keep Venkatesh because I've sometimes believed that if you have five main bowlers and if anything goes wrong, you turn to your sixth bowler. I was shocked that Rahul never turned to Venkatesh at any point because the two batsmen were setting it up well, and he did not change. He did not go to Venkatesh saying, "Okay, let's try him. If he goes for wicket, well and good." Because you have to take the risk at some point of time. As the saying goes, no risk, no reward.
Absolutely.
If you don't take risk, you're never going to get rewarded. And if you keep persisting with the same thing and expecting different results, it's called insanity. And that's the thing. So I would probably say keep Venkatesh here, and maybe it'll be Shreyas Iyer or Suryakumar Yadav for me. And bowlers, I'm not sure because since this is a must-win ODI in terms of the series being, in terms of the series, I don't think the lineup will change as much. Although I'd like to see more from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, given that he has been very good, but off late I think in the last 1 or 2 years he's kind of a bit tapered off, probably because of the long injury rope he has had.
Hmm.
Because we all knew at the start he used to swing the ball like crazy even on a flat pitch, and now he's kind of a bit tapered off a bit, but I still think he has it in him, that he can bring the best out of him. Bumrah, I think he might be rested because, as you said, it's heavy workload. You can't play him every single game and not expect him to get injured. If he gets injured, I don't blame him, to be honest, because he's literally played every single game, and you will get tired at some point of time. And I would like to see Siraj or Chahat being given a chance, because Siraj, we all know, he has just from the Australia tour, he's been superb. He's never put a foot wrong, and I think he will give an advantage for us. But the question is he fit? Did he play the third test? I'm not exactly sure.
He was injured in the third test, so he was, I think, on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
third.
So the thing is, if he's not fully fit, it makes no sense to risk him. Deepak Char, maybe we can give him a go, but I think Deepak Char and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar are kind of similar qualities, because
Yeah,
both of them rely on swing and both of them rely on slow balls at the end, to pick up wickets. So, and I think Thakur is, and that's the thing. So at the end, he kind of goes for runs, and before that, he was kind of okayish, but at the end, he kind of goes for runs. That's his vulnerability. He either
hmm,
picks runs or picks wickets, or he goes for runs. There's no in between
yeah,
for Shardul
hmm,
Thakur. So maybe that one batting change in space of station, maybe Suryakumar Yadav, or maybe it may not happen. But otherwise, I see the team remain remain the same, because there's no point chopping and changing at this point of time. Maybe for the Sri Lanka, I think next is West Indies home series and then Sri Lanka series. For
yeah.
maybe,
West Indies home series and then
yeah,
Sri Lanka.
and I can see us experimenting for the home series, because that's what we did against New Zealand in the T20 series. We experimented with a new lineup. That's what I see us doing against West Indies and Sri Lanka. And I think probably in England, we'll probably go with the stronger lineup, because it is England at the end of the day. And they are a
Hmm.
fantastic white ball side. And I think we'll probably experiment in the West Indies and Sri Lanka home series, and then probably go set for the England series. So I don't think the lineup will change as much, but I expect us to perform better.
I think the first point you were making in this that I really just catch on and want to ask you again is, I
Yeah.
think you were making the point that Venkatesh Iyer used by Lokesh Rahul, and I just want to come to Lokesh Rahul because in that match there was a lot of criticism for him on the Indian community, cricket community, that his captaincy was very very weak. Many thought because he allowed the game to drift away. Like you made the point just earlier right now. You made a point that India bowlers were getting beaten all around. So would it be that harm to give Venkatesh Iyer just one over? You never know a six bowling option, because you see the batsmen are trying to hit you off the park. Suddenly you bring a six bowling option. Like South Africa. South Africa used six bowlers that day. They use Makram, they use Felukwo, they use Marco Janssen, they use Ngidi, they use Maharaj, they use Shamsi. So they had a leg spinner in Shamsi, they had a left hand spinner in Maharaj, they had an off spinner who got the wicket of Rahul, Makram, and then they had the three pacers in Ngidi, Janssen, and then they had Felukwo. And I was just right now analyzing the England squad, and you will be stunned to see that that team has seven bowlers. Sam Curran, they've got Moeen Ali, they've got Adil Rashid, they've got Mark Wood, and then they've got Ben Stokes, who can absolutely bowl so well, and they've got Jofra Archer in their ranks, and then they've got Chris Wokes. And on the other hand, we just never persist with the six bowling option. And with Rahul captaincy, a lot of people have doubted him from Punjab days that he's not able to motivate the team, he's not able to make the right changes, he's too defensive. Like even in Punjab, we saw him start opening slowly, trying to bat the whole game, and his captaincy has been questioned again. For me, he's a very young player. Like Rishabh Pant, he made a big blunder in the Delhi Capitals final semi playoffs match when he did not bowl Rabada the over, and he was again critiqued for that. But see, you cannot analyze a young player suddenly because they're captaining for the first time. But on the other hand, we cannot deny that the game drifted away from India. It was 68 for 3. It was absolutely India's corner. And MS Dhoni, who is more experienced, by the way, he will never let the game drift away. He will have reduced the runs, he will have taken the wickets, and he will have used Kulcha so well, like you were saying in the start of the video, his communication with the players. And India will most probably restricted them to 230, 240, and we would have easily chased it down. So that brings me a question towards you: that do you think your views on his captaincy, and do you think we should be a bit worried, or he's a young player and we should allow his captaincy to develop, because he's a vice captain of Indian cricket right now?
See, he's not a permanent captain. Let's face it. After this, it's going to be Rohit Sharma who's coming back and he's going to be captain anyway. And I am prepared to take the hit as long as it works in the long term. Because let's face it, Kohli is just Kohli is no more captain. Rohit Sharma is not there.
Mm.
So who do you actually give captaincy? The most obvious choice, I would have probably given it to Ashwin maybe, because it's just maybe if it's just for this one series, maybe even Ashwin, because even Ashwin has captain IPL sides and Rahul is also captain.
Mm.
But I think we can't look into captaincy too much because we don't have really a choice. If Rohit Sharma was there, he will definitely be the captain. But since Rahul is there, probably we have to stick with him. And yeah, there is criticisms obviously because sometimes his batting is there, like sometimes he kind of bats slowly, and that those criticisms are there. But I don't think I'll probably read into his captaincy these for these two games, because he's not going to be a captain at least till the 2023 World Cup. After that, it might be him, or it might even be Rishabh Pant. But in these two games, let's just hope for the best, and hope our players do better. Because captain can only do so much, but the players have to take the responsibility of delivering. So that is my
So
take on it. I won't read too much into Rahul's captaincy in the next two games, although we have to be we have to criticize him when he does wrong. But let it not just be over the top saying because he's not a permanent captain at the end of the day.
And I think that brings me towards the final point of the video before we make predictions for the match. And the final point I want to ask you is in the thumbnail of the video, and that is this fiasco the sort of Ganguly, Virat Kohli, the captaincy fight, Viratians, Rohitians, MSDians, all furious at each other. Viratians absolutely furious at sort of Ganguly. Gangulians absolutely going on Virat Kohli. Rohitians absolutely enjoying themselves right now. And MSDians watching from the top and seeing who is the best now, who is going to be reaching to MS levels. And it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute laughter, and also just shows that how divided Indian cricket is, because I've never seen in Australia Smithians, Kawajians, Warnians, and we have such a big fan base, and it's a problem now. And everybody has some fights, and there's negativity. There were trends going on: sack Ganguly, sack BCCI. Then there are trends going on that sack Virat Kohli. It's such a good thing. So, and his sudden announcement, like I was furious with the defeat, and when we lost them, and I was looking for watching some channels, seeing some intakes by the experts, and then suddenly boom, Virat Kohli has taken his captaincy retirement from Test cricket. And this is the format that he has loved the most. He has done a remarkable job, and I was thinking that in like he had no reason to leave. We have such a tough schedule in front of us right now. We have one Test match against England. We'll be playing against Bangladesh at their home conditions. We'll be playing against Sri Lanka home, and then we'll be playing against Australia. Four Test matches in a home condition, and we have to remember that we are struggling right now in the WTC table, and we have to win all this series by mostly whitewash margin if we think to reach the final again. And I think if Virat stayed, we might have done that. He would have won the final, and then he would have passed on the torch towards a Rahul or a Pant. So I was just gobsmacked at what this happened. And again, there were rumors that it was done. Virat was angry with losing his captaincy in ODI T20. So the anger and disappointment turned to him giving his away his Test captaincy. So do you think that all this fiasco has affected our performances in the ODI cricket? And overall, is it affecting the dressing room for longer things that's come to a head, especially when Virat will stay in the lineup and Rohit will be the new captain?
It's been a circus, to be honest. I mean, you look at Virat Kohli before the T20 World Cup saying that he will be leaving the T20 captaincy, he'll continue being the ODI captain, and suddenly 3 months later, we never play an ODI, and suddenly he's not the ODI captain anymore. I'm not sure what changed in those 3 months to remove him from the ODI captaincy, and I think it's the decision of BCCI thinking that split same captain for both white ball formats, which I think made a bit of sense. but test captaincy was shocking. And he said earlier that I think if he stayed as captain, I have no doubt we would have definitely won the next few series, because at home we win anyways. I think captaincy at home, it doesn't really matter. It's only a question of the margin. And after this, it's only that one test against England which I'll find it tough. Others, we should definitely see it through, because whoever we play at home, we beat them easily.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. So I don't see it as much as an issue. I just hope we somehow qualify for the World Test Championship final and somehow win it, because an ICC event has been evading us for so long. We go till the end, and we somehow kind of get a mind block out there. This T20 World Cup, that also didn't happen. It was an absolute shambles. We can all agree on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, and now that but the past is past. It's all happened. We can't change it. We just hope to see that we go forward from here. We have been doing well. We have to continue to do well. It's no good just going till a semi-final or a final and not performing after that. And yeah, and as you mentioned, the toxicity of Rohitians, Viratians, Dhonians, I blame the IPL for this, because that has created a huge fan base among them, such that, and this is why one of the reasons I don't get attached to any player per se. Yes, I might have say I might prefer Dhoni or Kohli or something, or something like that. But I have not. But I have never got attached to any player. Or sorry, I am attached to the cricket team. I am attached to teams. That's it. Players come and go, but only the team stays forever. And for me, it's always the team first over the players. Unfortunately, for some fans, and ever since Twitter, when you have a keyboard in hand, when you have a free account, you start to chat nonsense. And that's the problem for every sport. In fact, the only sport when you can actually get attached to a player is single player sports like tennis or table tennis, because it's just 1v1 or 2v2. In team sports, it makes no sense to get attached to a player, to be honest. And I don't think it's gonna get any better in the near future, because whatever Kohli does, Rohit Sharma fans will come in.
Hmm.
Whatever Rohit Sharma does, Kohli fans will come
Hmm.
in, and Dhoni fans will come in either way. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's just what it is, and we have to take it on the chin and move on. You can't really do much about it, to be honest.
I think you made some absolute fantastic points, and especially I think the last point that you made on the player thing. And I do hope that people watching this show, see, everyone can have some fans. You can be a Rohit fan, you can be a Dhoni fan. There's nothing bad in being a fan, but the support for the team should absolutely be paramount, and that toxicity should not be affecting the players. And I do hope that some people, Viratians, MSDNs, they first start putting Indian cricket interests at front of them, and then they can support the player. That's their own thing. Because even I have some WhatsApp contacts and everything, and they put the photo of Indian cricket over, Virat Kohli out. Guys, Indian cricket will never be over. Sachin was a captain, he was removed. Cricket will never be over, it will go on. I will go, new generation will come, cricket will always keep going. And that brings me to the last question. Now, we both are in agreement overall that even if we dream of some changes, we are not going to see many changes, and the team is mostly going to be the same. And the same for South Africa is that I think they will also play the mostly the same lineup. Why will they change a team that absolutely smashed us in the last match? So that
Exactly.
brings me to the prediction of the match. And I just want to ask you, first of all, the lineup. Do you think it's going to be absolutely same? And the second question I have to ask is that has it is being played on the same value, ball and park? What do you see in the match happening? And overall, how do you think is who is going to win? And if we, let's say, we win or lose, what's going to be the implication of that? So, what's your opinion in that regards?
I think we should put in a better performance than the last time. I think we should probably the thing is, if two teams go toe to toe, and say in the last 2 overs you need 14 to win, and the bowler gives 14 in 1 over, that happens. You can't really moan too much about it. It was a good game. That one bad over happens. Or you might be in the last over, you need 12 runs to win, and you can't connect a single ball despite you have to swing every ball. That also happens. But if you go toe to toe with the opposition, and then you lose by a small margin at the end, that's all you can ask for. Winning and losing sometimes is not in your hands. And sometimes one brilliant moment, it can happen. But you need to go toe to toe with the opposition. And we did not go toe to toe against South Africa, especially after we lost Dhawan and Kohli, who are batting extremely well. And that's the thing. So I think that the lineup will probably be the same, except maybe we might see Surya Kumar Yadav come in. Not sure who will go, whether be stays here or whether be Venkatesh here. And I think if I'm not sure if even the pitch will be the same. It might be the adjacent pitch. I'm not even sure. But I think if it's the same flat pitch, we might as well bat first and set up a huge score, and then allow South Africa to bat. And it's always the thing between your heart and between your head and your heart. It's all head and your heart. I'm confused. It's like we obviously want India to win, and I think India will bounce back, and I think India will win. And I think we'll probably bat first, score a big score 300, 350, and we can get South Africa out with a good margin. That's what I think we will, because I think the fire will be up, and I think we will bounce back, and I think we'll win this game.
I think overall, on the pitch, as I would have to say, I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be a flat track, but also I think, as I saw in the last match, it was flat, but as well as slow, like Indian pitches are, which means that the team batting first will have better conditions, and the second team the condition will get more slower and slower, as we saw Maharashtra MC coming more into the play. So for me, it's more about even if you're bowling first, I do think we need to restrict them to the good score, and I do think we need to play well, and I think we will bounce back. This is still a South Africa side without Rabada, without Andrew Norgay. And if we lose this series 3-0, even 2-1, we need to have a bit of look in the mirror that was going on in Indian cricket. Because this team was South Africa team also struggled against Ireland in ODI cricket. We should be able to beat them, and we should be beating them. And for me, there will be a response by the side, and I think we'll win. And even if we don't win, I do want to see a much better fight back, a much better performance. I want to see a better performance for Yuzvendra Chahal. I want to see a better performance for Shardul Thakur, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and especially a better performance by either Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant in the batting department. And also, I will be very intrigued to see Venkatesh Iyer and what role he has in this match. So for me, my prediction, my heart says is India is going to win. My brain says that India is going to win because I think that we are going to bounce back. But again, the way I've seen us perform in the series after winning the first test match, I won't be a tad bit surprised that if we somehow find a way to lose this game and throw the series away. So for me, I do hope that you all have absolutely enjoyed the video. And today, first of all, I'd love to thank Prasanna for coming on here and gracing the show, gracing the channel. And please, again, everyone watching today, please do go on his channel and subscribe. You'll find some absolutely great content from Indian Super League in football department, Indian cricket team, and he's a Chelsea fan like me. And we are right now in absolutely sad form. And we have a Sunday night match, and you will see on Prasanna's channel whether we are winning against Tottenham or we are out of the top four race. And it's absolutely crisis. And along with that, if India loses tomorrow, there could be a rant from both of us, and there could be a rant from 100 of Indians fan. So for me, that brings me towards you, Prasanna. Like, what content is going to come on the channel, and overall, what do you make of Indian cricket team? And overall, just tell about your channel and overall what's going to come in next in the channel. And again, I will say thank you so much, mate, for coming on today.
Yeah, man, always. It's always nice to talk with fellow fans. Nice to get different opinions. I'm not sure if I'll do India South Africa review, because the thing is I'll be traveling at around that time, and coming back will be an issue, so I might not be able to even catch the game. But one thing I'm definitely sure will do is I'll do Indian Super League. Chennai FC are playing on Saturday, so I'll do a match review for that. Chelsea are playing on Sunday, I'll do a match review for that as well. So whatever games I'm able to catch, I'll be keep on doing match reviews for that. Channel is slowly but slowly growing. Just this close to 300k. Probably I think 4 or 3 short of 3, not 300k, 300. If only that happens, I think it'll happen. It just takes time. We all know patience is the key to success, and we need to be patient. We need to keep on doing what we have to do. It will be slow, but eventually we will get there one day, and that's what I've always believed in. Always believe, trust in the process. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yes, you will face some challenges. Yes, you need to keep changing, not just persist with the same thing, but you just need to keep on going, and no one can stop at the end of the day.
And I think in the last part, you've given us all a valuable lesson to me, everyone, that we need to just never give up. We need to keep pursuing. The goals will come, but patience is needed for them. And with that patience, I do hope you all have enjoyed the video. I do hope that the two blue teams, they win the match, the Sunday night match and the Friday night match, and we come here and we say up the Blues. So thank you, the viewers who have tuned in. And again, a big thank you to Prasanna to come here. And please do go on his channel and subscribe. And please do hit on the subscribe and like button, and you will get more content like that what we have did today. And I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you everyone, and thank you Prasanna for coming here. It was a great day and a great show.
Yeah, man. Always. Thank you.